at Hugh McMillan Rehab. I couldn't deal with it, and I had to find something. So I ended up volunteering at Hugh McMillan Rehab when it was just off of Bayview. Now it's Hugh McMillan, Blue Review, all that stuff. This is years ago. And I did it for 2 years. And obviously they saw something in me because all of a sudden they gave me particular children to take care of, you know. But along the way, they also introduced me to therapeutic recreation. Have you ever heard of therapeutic recreation?
Play therapy?
No. It's a postgraduate diploma at a Georgian College in Aurelia, and it's for marginalized populations. So I can serve inmates, I can serve seniors, I can serve, all the special need populations and stuff, right? And our motto was selectively channel an individual through an activity for an ulterior motive, focusing on interests and strengths and stuff like that. Best thing I ever learned. Okay? And
do you think it's the way you interpreted it, or was it the program?
It was the way the program
strength-based is central to a lot of the approaches now in college.
But it enlightened me.
Okay.
So I didn't know. So the program, showed me this and that, and in fact, they wanted to kick me out halfway through it because they called me in, and I had a number of students, assignments outstanding and so on, and it was still those days I was drinking like a fish and womanizing and all that stuff, and I got my act together, pulled it off, graduated, and so on. But along the way, things as simple as you recognize the individual, not the disability, so children that speak Arabic, you put the individual first. A child that has a physical disability, recognizing that it's a child first.
Did you get the language to say that, or did you always look at the individual first before you even read that? Or when
I always thought I didn't see color, or I didn't see this and that, because I always, I see an asshole. What color you are. If you're an asshole, you're an asshole, That's what I honestly think and believe.
Yeah.
So, hard to say, okay? But it did enlighten me that I can walk, I can talk, I can feed myself, I can toilet myself. And we take all of those fundamental basic things for granted. And the reason I say that is because when I was at UMac, they set me up with an 18-year-old Ontario scholar who was riding an ATV without a helmet and went head first into a tree. And at 18, this guy's bigger than you and I, spoke 3 languages, probably even smarter than I was, but he reverted back to infancy.
He's heart-brain injury.
Yeah. And going in and out of UMac, that's where I started to recognize I can walk, I can talk, and I can do all of those things. And I had a beautiful girlfriend and wife, that's married and stuff. So, in many respects, I'm blessed. The rest of it is gravy, and that is the way I've approached life. Like, I don't give a shit if you're rich. I don't give a shit if you're smart, It comes down to the fundamentals and the basics. So, all the way along, the kids come first. And that's the one thing that Cheryl Street, recognized in that it didn't matter. And it doesn't matter to me. You talked about policies and things. I don't give a shit about policies. Whatever the child needs is what I'm going to deliver. And then, whether it be administration or the board or a parent, they can come and, address it with me after. But that's never happened. Because by taking care of the child and supporting the child, the parents are seeing the growth. The parents are seeing, what's going on. And that is the way I have lived my life. Along the way, I also discovered I really don't lie unless it's to my wife to get out of trouble. But I'll tell the truth, because once I've told the truth, right or wrong, it's now your problem, it's not mine. And if there's a consequence, then I shouldn't have done it if I can't, deal with the consequence. So when you start, go back to basic grassroots, the individual, the person, and, you take it from there, I've just built that up. Been very fortunate that it has not backfired. But along the way, when I was in North Carolina, I went down as part of the VIT program, visiting international faculty, and I went down as a special ed teacher, but teacher for exceptional children.
This is in Peel?
This is North Carolina. I taught in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. Yeah.
Jordan was there?
No, after. I was down there in 2002.
Wow.
Yeah. The year after we left, they won the NCAA championship in 2005, I think.
That was Stackhouse?
I remember that name.
Jerry Stackhouse. Okay, anyway. Off the record.
Well, so when I was down there, the person that was in charge of that, we had the chair for the Department of Exceptional Children. She left, but she was a speech pathologist. We go on the Christmas break. She leaves to go to UNC with Mel Levine, and I come back to find out that I've been promoted to chair.
Mel Levine, remind me, the name is...
Child Theory, the whole bit, yeah.
But he's not a UFC guy?
No, he was UNC. Yeah, he was UNC.
Okay.
So I come back and they promoted me. Now they promoted me, meaning that no money, no time. I'm still the exceptional children for grades 4 and 5. We have a caseload in a school of like 320 exceptional children. We have a caseload of about 80 of them. Okay. North Carolina, great state, but a little backwards in that IEPs are done on a calendar year. So if yours is, due on a Tuesday, yesterday, May 3rd, Thursday, May 3rd, then we have to make an appointment for you to come in Thursday, May 3rd.
Next year.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter what time. You, for whatever reason, you say you can be there at 1:30. All right, come on in at 1:30. They pull me from my class to go and do this. Okay, and while you're doing it, you're writing it out in hand in triplicate. It's the same information. They'll do a psych assessment and stuff. So you do your basic ability versus achievement and stuff like this, and we explain it all, and I have to write it all out. And then when the kids, like grade 5s, move up to the middle school, you have to put all their OSRs together. Well, I'm not a paid person, but I also know it is important because down there it's all about money, and the principal explained this to me. So I go through all the 80 files and put them all in order, send them off to the middle school, and it comes back. They've never gotten files in such great shape. Like they're like, who the hell is this guy? They want to meet. And to me, I didn't think anything of it. It's just what has to be done, and that's what I do. I get the job done. I don't do it pretty. I don't, it just gets done. And a lot of times it might be by the,
You didn't realize it's impossible to do.
Well, no, that's it. I just did it. They told me it needed to be done. I did.
You didn't realize.
Yeah. So, good experience there. Went to England. I'm over there. I'm not even a qualified teacher in England because I've been trained in another country. Okay? So the first school I'm at, I show up the first day as a, supply teacher just to cover one day. I show up a half hour late. I'm riding a motorcycle. I got lost. So the principal is like, calls the deputy head and says, keep an eye on this guy. Well, within a week, they ask me, will I stay? At the end of the year, they ask me, will I stay another year? And they want me to try to get my credentials to get recognized as a full-time teacher in England. They end up putting me in certain positions and stuff. I end up staying the 2 years, but then the third year, Jane and I want to do more traveling, and we're all set. We do travel, but we come back in October, and I'm thinking I'm just going to pick up supply work, but it's a time when a lot changed, the economy, and even, over here, when I was gone 3 years, it changed significantly. I had to resign from Peel. I just couldn't get a leave because I had a leave to go to North Carolina, and we had 2 Yorkies that died, so my wife says, if we're going over to Europe, we go now or we don't go, so we went. But, while I'm over there, One school wants to keep me for that, third year, but I'm going to go and see. I end up teaching high school math. Now I have intermediate math, but I end up teaching high school math to a school that became an academy. They were in the bottom 5 percentile in Great Britain, not just England, but Scotland, Wales, the bottom 5%. So a philanthropist comes in, takes over the school, brings in their own crew, and they set it all up. I'm a supply teacher. They wanted to keep me, okay? I'm teaching high school math, the high school, and no shit, Kirby. You turn your back, they throw shit at you, okay? And I was smart enough. I never turned my back. I faced the kids. I kneel in front of the kids. I talk to them. I got a lot of respect. And my toughest were the girls. Yeah, but, oh, Jesus, British girls in school? Holy crap. They scared the crap out of you because they were tough as males. But, they wanted to keep me. I did not stay because I only traveled on a motorcycle. And then just before the Christmas break, motorcycle accident right outside my wife's hospital because she's a nurse. And another one on the highway. And I'm thinking, you know what?
Fine.
Yeah, it's a sign. So I said, no, I'm not coming back. They were upset. They wanted me to come back. Start, teaching other places. Now, I get a call from an agency that I had left. And they've got year group leader position. Okay? Be perfect for me. They're blowing smoke up my ass. Well, they're not, but so I say, okay, I go for the interview, so on and so forth. They'd like me to stay. So I end up becoming a year group leader. What that means is that I'm still an unqualified teacher, but when all the other leadership team, as a year group leader, I'm part of the leadership team. All the other year group leaders are out. I'm responsible for the whole school. I cannot mentor an individual teacher, but I can be responsible for the whole fucking school. All right?
It's a nice trade-off.
Yeah. And one of the times, while I'm the one in charge of the school, a kid acts up so much that the parents or the teacher, sends the kid down and so on and so forth. The frequent flyer, I have to call mom. Have to ask her to come and get him. He's got to go home. Okay? Well, she says, I'm working. I'll pick him up after school. Okay, fair enough. Keep him till then. She walks in. She starts screaming at him, and the first thing she says is, you can keep him. He's not coming home with me. And she leaves. And I look at him. Is she serious? He says, yeah. I said, oh, shit. So I get on the phone to CAS. Now, I'm in England. I'm a Canadian. I'm not a qualified teacher, but I'm dealing with this shit. And why I'm sharing this is somewhere or other people see it, in me, and I can do it, and so on and so forth. We come back, and this leadership, the one thing I didn't tell you is I was put forward by each city has what they call the lead education authority, the LEA, okay? They're like your board, all right? And they sent in a guy at the beginning. So I'm getting trained, and I've been teaching for a number of years. I'm getting trained by this guy that's he's a Brit, in a white shirt, with it all done up, kind of tie and short sleeves and stuff like this. And they are so regimented, all right? And, we're all about engaging the students and stuff, so we did not get along at all. I would make comments, and he would literally shut me down and, no, you got to follow, Very, it was nonsense. But this is the guy that ends up telling the agency to get him to do it, So here's somebody that I fought with, and we did, because of who I was and my strengths, like he reported me this and that and so on and so forth, but yet ends up, recruiting me for this. We come back, and I I had to, because I went to North Carolina on a leave, I had to resign. So I resigned from the field board, losing all my sick days. You know, so I ended up getting paid out, and I had over 150 sick days or something. So I would have got a nice chunk, but I have to resign, so I did it. And